An orb weaver spider doesn't just start anywhere. It begins with a single, impossibly thin line of silk cast into the wind. This isn't a random shot in the dark. This first bridge line is a foundational decision, an anchor point that dictates the entire structure's orientation to the wind, to gravity, and to the surrounding landscape. The success of the entire hunt depends on this single floating thread finding purchase. It's the first step in an architectural sequence that feels eerily pre-planned. With the bridge line secure, the spider constructs a simple Y-shaped frame. But this isn't just support, it's a geometric tool. The angles formed at this central hub are not arbitrary. They are measured with an instinctual precision that sets the stage for the web's radial symmetry. The spider uses its own body as a ruler and the tension in the silk as a guide, performing a type of physical trigonometry that ensures the foundation is sound. Next come the spokes, the radial threads that give the web its characteristic shape. How does a creature with a brain the size of a pinhead ensure these are all evenly spaced? It doesn't count. Instead, it follows a simple algorithm. Lay a line, return to the center, turn a specific amount, and repeat. This behavioral loop, a simple set of instructions executed over and over, results in a complex and structurally stable array. The plan isn't a picture, it's a procedure. Before the final, sticky trap is laid, the spider builds a temporary, non-sticky spiral. This auxiliary spiral acts as a scaffold, a pathway for the spider to move across its own construction site. But its function is more profound than that. This temporary structure serves as a physical guide, a template stored in the environment itself. The spacing of this non-sticky spiral directly dictates the spacing of the final, deadly capture spiral that will replace it. This process is a perfect example of what scientists call embodied cognition, the idea that intelligence isn't confined to the brain. For the spider, the thinking is done through its body and its interaction with the silk. The tension of a thread tells it where to pull. The angle of its leg determines the next anchor point. The web's design isn't retrieved from memory. It emerges from the physical act of building. The spider and the web are a single problem-solving system. This strategy of embedding information into the environment is called stigmergy. You see it in the colossal termite mounds of the savanna. No single termite knows the master plan for their cathedral-like nest. Instead, each one responds to local chemical cues left by the others, adding a speck of mud here, a piece of wood there. The structure itself guides its own construction. The spider's auxiliary spiral is a form of self-stigmergy, a message it leaves for itself. So, is this learned? If you raise a spider in total isolation, it will still build a perfect web on its first try. The core of the web-building plan is a genetic algorithm, a behavioral sequence passed down through millions of years of evolution. Yet, it's not entirely rigid. An older, more experienced spider can adapt this algorithm, modifying the web's shape to fit a tricky corner or an unusually windy day. It's a foundational instinct, polished by experience. What does this algorithm look like inside the spider's central nervous system? Using machine vision, researchers have tracked the precise movements of every one of a spider's 8 legs during construction. They discovered a stunningly stereotyped and predictable sequence of actions, a kind of neural choreography. Specific leg movements correspond to specific parts of the web, suggesting the entire building process is a deeply ingrained motor program, a dance that has been perfected since the time of the dinosaurs. When you plan something, you likely create a mental image of the finished product. A spider almost certainly does not. There is no evidence it visualizes the final web. Its plan is procedural, not pictorial. And this challenges our own definition of planning. Is a plan the conscious mental blueprint? Or is it any process that reliably transforms a set of actions into a complex, functional, and goal-oriented outcome? In that sense, the spider is one of the most brilliant, unconscious architects on Earth.
Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.